Welcome to the 13th installment of this series. We will see what has happened during the month of September in the league. We began the month with two friendlies against weaker sides to build up the match fitness of some players that were having problems with them. They were two easy matches that we dominated and where we used the 4-2-3-1, but because of the poor level of the two teams, they weren't really very useful to determine how well the tactic was and what chances might be needed to make it able to fight against tougher opposition. So the formation wasn't really tested until the Valencia game, that, as you can see, ended with just a 1-0 loss. They had several good chances to score, but the good job of Ivan Cuellar prevented them from scoring more than just one goal. The team was poor. We never got to threaten their goal, especially having trouble getting the ball ahead in the right side of the field, which is why during the second half, when I noticed that, I told the team to exploit the left side of the pitch where we were getting more passes done, but that didn't help enough. One of the issues that were shown was that the left back ran too high the pitch too often, and during the attacks, Valencia several times had players win the back of that left back. Valencia also created many chances from lobbing balls above of my defense. At least 3 times some defender had to make a last-ditch tackle to stop strikers or wingers from getting a shot that would have been goal otherwise. Through hard tackling, well, it wasn't really through hard tackling since it took almost 50 minutes of play to happen, but we got 10 minutes of numerical advantage when Joao Pereira was sent off with a second yellow card, but that was still not enough to be able to create any chances. So during those last 10 minutes, we managed to get the ball to the area several times. However, the last pass always failed to get to the target player, and hence we still failed to get any shot. Another issue that could have been the problem that we never managed to get the ball forward in the right side was that the team was too wide and the right winger too up the pitch. So one of the solutions that I introduced to the tactic after this match was lowering the mentality of the right winger. I also made the team play a little less wide and increased no, I didn't increase anything. The next game we were facing Hercules at home, one of the teams that got promoted and that at this point had 2 wins and 1 draw. We utilized again the 4-2-3-1 with success. This time with the changes introduced to the tactic, we managed to get to the area once and again, creating many chances, very good ones, forcing Hercules goalkeeper to make several good and miraculous saves. And in the end, we only managed to score 2 goals, including a penalty that wasn't converted by Carlos Carmona. The bad news, however, of this match were the injuries of Asier Delorno and Kevin Panevitz, which were for between 3 and 4 weeks. Then we came this game that was a surprise. Not the start, where they scored twice in 2 minutes time, and again the penalty wasn't such, so they should have only scored once, as there was no penalty. But with the 4-2-3-1 again, the team reacted and started to pound on their goal. We had during the rest of the match many chances, many clear chances, that some of them should have been scored. In the end, we only managed to get 2, and in both cases from rebounds of the initial shot that was in a chance good enough to have been a goal by itself. There were 2 balls sent to the crossbar or the post during this match. So in the end, this match was kind of a mixed bag. On one side, we dominated for most of the match, so we had a difficult first half of an hour, with Atletico de Madrid exploiting our high defensive line. And then we were able to come back and draw the match. But at the same time, disappointing, because with all the chances we created, all the times we got to the area, all the shots from short distance that we managed to get, with only the goalkeeper to beat, it ranks not having scored a third and a fourth goal. But all in all, this was a very good match and a good result, as initially the expectation was to lose this match. So it's 1 point more than we theoretically should have at this point. With that win, and only 2 matches more in this month, or 3, there were 3, Valencia, Hércules and Atlético de Madrid. We are now 14th in the league, more or less where we were before, but this time with 7 points, only 3 points ahead of the relegation zone. So it looks like it will be a tough season, as it was to be expected. One thing that I forgot to mention during the review of the Valencia game, and that was confirmed later in the other 2 matches, is that with the 4-2-3-1 formation with such a high line, I really need some fast centre back, because none of the centre backs that I have are fast enough to make that high line viable. So I have started a look for young, or more or less young, centre backs that are fast to add to the team. I will be trying to sell some of the players, maybe Gregory, despite the fact that he is one of the team favorites, but past season he was one of the centre backs that made several mistakes leading to goal. So, and I am happy so far with Bernardo. And Gregory is right now just a second choice. So it's not a player that I would be very interested in keeping. And he is kind of old, I think. He has more than 30 years old. Individually, Ivan Hernandez has disappeared from the interception chart, but he has shown in the player of the match. Not too much of a surprise considering that most of the teams we are facing are of better reputation and stronger than us. On the paper, at least, just the fact of being us a team that has been just promoted from the second division. Ivan Hernandez is still the player that has the best average rating, followed by Bernardo and Gregory. The three top rated players of the team are the main three center backs, which shows we are indeed a recently promoted team. Only in fourth there is some attacking player, Miguel de las Cuevas, who gets above of another defensive player, Stanislav Manolev. Ivan Hernandez is still the player that has made the most interceptions for our team, followed by Bernardo. Two center backs in the top. Then right back, center, midfield, right back. Tackles attempted, left back, midfielder, right back, and then dropped to the fifth place in this stat, Ivan Hernandez. That is good, as the past month he was top. Now he's dropping positions in favor of others. And from the previous screen you will have noticed surely that we had some serious problems with injuries. Since before the Atletico de Madrid game, Ivan Hernandez was injured in training with an hernia that will take him 5 weeks, and currently he is still between 3 and 4 weeks away from returning to full fitness. Asier Delorme still has 2 weeks, Kevin Panevich between 2 and 5 days, so maybe if we are lucky he can play the next game, and Juan Muñiz is just about to return. Unfortunately, a player that has been registered for the main team, cannot be sent over to the B team. So these players need to return to fitness in matches during the league, as there is no reserve team to send them to. I think there would be a chance of sending them to the B side. If I had sent them to the B side, the manager of the B side had registered them, and then I could bring them to the top team. But I'm not sure how that works. What are the age limits? I think the player has to be no more than 25 years old. And if I had done that, I would have risked that the manager of the big team didn't register him, and then maybe I would be risking not being able to play them in the league matches. On top of that, there is a limit on how many players I can bring to play a match with the first team coming from the B team, and the game allows me to designate players to play for the under 19 team, but only the players that are under 19 are chosen in the squad of that team, so players that are older cannot be sent to that team. Is worthless, it doesn't work. So the only players that I can send there from the top team are Borja and Alex Serrano, but any other player that gets injured needs to recover to match fitness playing official games in the league or friendlies that I can set up during international breaks, like I did the past month or this month. This next month we have the other three of that tough run of matches that I spoke about, starting with the Barcelona game. And after the Barcelona game, a 2 weeks break with international friendlies or competitive matches for qualification. I'm not sure what of them are there, that I will use to set friendlies to make the injured players come back to fitness if they are back to being healthy enough to play in a match. That is. On another observation that I haven't told in its moment about the 4-3-3-4, about the 4-2-3-1 formation, is that one of the effects that I hoped to see during the Atletico de Madrid game, that was some players of the attacking phase being forced to defend, didn't happen. So that would be a source that will make us vulnerable to counterattacks. So then on the other side, it gives us a better chance to achieve superiority of numbers in areas of the pitch in the attack phase, which is sort of a trade-off that being a team as a Sporting would be not a kind of trade-off that would be advisable, as in such games as these against tough teams. It would perhaps be better to try to be more solid defensively than trying to be more attacking and outscore the opposition, since it is the opposition, the one that has the advantage in quality. I think that is all that I had to say, so thanks for watching, see you next time. Goodbye.